Hello, everyone. I'd like to take this opportunity to share our experience with having the apple of my eye, my daughter being a participant with the WJCS system of care. My daughter is 28 and lives in a WJCS group home for disabled adults. She started almost 2 years ago, and I have to say that at the start, it was a little bit of a challenge and it was a bit tough. It was a tough transition, but I think mostly for my wife and I. Being separated from the apple of my eye wasn't an easy thing. Nevertheless, the caring, loving, experienced staff at the residence made the transition much easier. It made it an easier, sweet transition to what turned out to be a path which was and still is really a path necessary to natural growth and maturity. We began seeing how the transition itself provided a therapeutic influence in reducing my daughter's obsessive-compulsive disorder. In fact, my daughter was effectively being socially mobilized into becoming a grown-up, a true adult. Before COVID began, she went to her daily program. She was taken to activities that she enjoyed, all observed and operated through the group home. We home visited with her every weekend, and as I noticed her growth, I would tell her how just very proud of her I was, and I would watch her glow like a 100-watt light bulb. So as COVID began, it was obviously there were challenges that entered the picture. Many of her activities, all of her activities of daily living had really stopped because of the social distancing and the safety precautions, the protocols that were carefully put into place and maintained by the group home. We couldn't visit our daughter, and she couldn't go to any of her activities. This was a sad, interfering obstruction to the many things that were responsible for fueling her healthy social growth and her development. It was a scary time. We were worried. It still is a scary time, but we were worried back then when it was very severe and acute. And we miss seeing our daughter so very much. So once again, thanks to the incredible caring staff at WJCS, my daughter and others in the group home stayed safe. They stayed healthy and they stayed happy. All along, they were all very well cared for, physically and emotionally. I just want to say how we are so very grateful for the excellent care that our daughter gets each and every day at her group home. They truly care about each other and every individual. They seem to have created a true family for all who live there and for all who work there. It is a true residential community family. Now being back on our weekend visiting schedule, we find that at the end of the day, our daughter always chooses to go back to her WJCS home rather than to sleep over at our house. This is now her home, and she chooses to go back to her space, back to her life, back to her ways. And this in itself speaks volumes. The proof is literally in the pudding. WJCS has given her a trusting home, literally and figuratively speaking, for life. In good times and bad times, you should know your support of WJCS helps thousands of young individuals throughout Westchester. Help them on their path to becoming and being whole, productive, healthy adults in a society which they can make a difference. Please help keep WJCS strong.